Right. If you have questions, please just chat them in using the chat function in WebEx. The first question I have for you, Tim, is does the Amazon Kindle use Epub?
That's a good question. No, actually, the Amazon Kindle that's a good question. Actually, the Amazon Kindle uses MobiPocket. It's really the only major reader that does not use Epub.
We have a request to, again, compare the flexibilities and strengths of PDFs and XML.
In a quick summary, well, XML, you've got the flat file. It's extensible. It's a master file. It's machine readable. We can easily convert it to multiple DTDs. We can convert it to HTML to put it online. We can convert it. We can use it for Epub so that we can use it for e-reader. We also can drive automation in the composition workflow. PDF, as we noted, can also be used online. We can use it for print, for offset and digital print. We've got a number of production efficiencies we can use it for as well.
Thanks, Tim. I have a request to say a bit more about PDF metadata. Can this be added using software such as Acrobat? Can Acrobat view the metadata?
I actually don't have an answer for that question. But I would, if you would be willing to email that question to me, I could do a little research on in terms of viewing that in Acrobat. I could certainly find out for you.
And we can post some of that response on our Facebook page as well for follow-up. Another question, do you think that Amazon will move to Epub?
I'd really hate to say. I don't want to speak for Amazon. I would doubt it, but I would, as I said, I can't speak for Amazon. So I do know that, incidentally, that on the iPad you can download an app for Kindle. So there are other ways to view Amazon content. Don't
Nook, iPad, Android, etc. use different versions of Epub?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. Yes, the Epub is the standard, but yes, devices, different companies are using Epub slightly different. It's kind of like the world we were in with the different DTDs with online publishing not too long ago. One
more question. How do you deliver Epub files to be available on the Sony Reader or Nook?
I guess I need to know more specifics of the question. Was it, I'm sorry, which devices? The
Sony Reader or the Nook?
That's another question. If you could email me that, I could give you specifics on probably different devices, and I'd be glad to get back to you on that.
Some people worry that PDF is controlled by Adobe. Is there an open alternative but isn't used much? Do you perceive this as an issue in the future? Will the world change to an open PDF alternative?
I'm no expert in that area. There is an open PDF. I'm sorry, I don't recall the name of it. There is an open PDF format. It doesn't seem to have been adopted with much. It's not ubiquitous, certainly, the way Adobe PDF is. But a PDF is a PDF. So I don't anticipate there would be problems with that.
Next question is PDF less stable? I sometimes encounter PDF files that are corrupted. Can they be restored?
I view PDF as very stable. If we go back to the idea of XML creating the PDF, if a PDF is created and it came, there's another, back to the earlier question about some of the things summary of the comparison and things we can do with XML. If you created your PDF out of XML, you can always go back to that source file. So that's another really good reason to use XML. Otherwise, if it was from an application file, you'd have to go back to InDesign or Word or wherever the application was created, but you do have to go back to the source file.
If you have your own DTD, can it be automatically converted to Epub or the NLM DTD?
Yes. In short, I mean there is technology involved in doing that, but yes, it's one of the beauties of XML is that it can be easily converted using a transform.
Explain again how to produce Epub files from XML. Can that process be automated, or does it need expert intervention?
I would say both. Yes, it can be automated, and yes, it needs some expert intervention. Although there are a number of applications out there for converting Epub that people are just doing on their desktop and doing in their offices.
Okay. How do we know which PDAs will still be used in several years? How do we make responsible production decisions that will continue to be readable by the most devices over time?
That's an excellent question, and the landscape is changing rapidly. We don't know which devices will be used 3 or 4 years from now, but it does seem pretty clear at this point that Epub will be the standard, and Epub is going to be around for a long time, and it does look like all of the major readers and devices will be using Epub. So Epub is a pretty safe bet. As far as specific devices, it's really anyone's guess.
Okay. One more question, and certainly another tough one in terms of predicting the future. Is the iPad going to change everything?
I'm not Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, excuse me. Yes and no. I mean, I think the iPad is not a reader, and that's one thing I would say. It's a device that does lots of things, including being a reader. And I think that also remains to be seen how, what kind of adoption there is. It's certainly a beautiful device with excellent resolution, and it's very nice to read on. What it means for scholarly publishing, I'm afraid I'd have to say I don't know.
Thanks, Tim. Another one, does Allen Press always use XML as the archival format and create PDF on the fly?
We archive both. Typically, our end deliverable would be XML, a high-res PDF for print, the WebView PDF for online, and then, of course, Epub as needed. And we archive both.
All right. Thank you, Tim. Looks like that's all the questions for now. You can still continue to submit questions on our Facebook page if you like. We're happy to post the answers to those, as well as some of those that we need to provide some follow-up.